Hola, ¿qué tal? Y sean bienvenidos a un nuevo capítulo, episodio, o más bien juego completo de What Remains of Edith Finch. Hola, Agus, o Agus, bienvenida. Vale, vamos a jugar esta mierda y nos la vamos a pasar entera el día de hoy. Así que los invito a quedarse por todo el directo o todo el video para conocer esta entrañable historia. Pero, si puedo, le bajo el volumen, ¿vale? Holandas. Mañana la escuela me va a dar de comer. Buena. A ver. Vamos a empezar, ¿no? No hay pausa, parece. No puedo bajar el volumen. Quiero bajar el volumen, loco. ¿Cómo escuchan ustedes? Yo escucho muy alto. Y P. P. Vale, vale, vale. Es P. Vamos a bajarle un poquito, ¿eh? Eso debe ser suficiente. Solo le bajé un poco porque es que estaba muy alto. Yo escucho con los oídos. Oh, me parece perfecto. Vale. ¿A quién le pegó el putazo por ponerse el nombre? Remember me. Sí. ¿Qué? Empezaremos por el principio. Por la casa. Vimos que había empezado...
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Uh. Control y shift como para hacer un zoom. La casa,
I lived
loco.
here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
No me dejaban entrar en la mitad de los cuartos. No, ese juego no, es re raro. ¿Cómo que es raro? ¿Todo se ve bien? ¿Qué pedo con la morra que habla sola? Es una historia. Haz de cuenta, ahorita estamos leyendo el diario de la señorita, ¿no? Ella lo escribió todo en un diario, estamos leyendo ese diario. Y así es como estamos avanzando en la historia. Va bajo de FPS. ¿En serio? No debería. Digo, el juego para mí va perfecto. A ver.
Que duerman bien, mis angelitos.
¡No!
Inside the mailbox.
A ver. Igual y en los gráficos está algo. Tun, tun, tun. Alto, alto. Pues no sé, en alto todo.
The bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
¿Vale? ¿Mejor? No, eso se me puso un anuncio.
My brother Lewis's funeral.
Un anuncio, no. Suerte, tenía audífonos puestos. Weón, qué bueno.
And keep my hands to myself.
Esto va a hacer que el gameplay sea súper divertido.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Tipo,
Maybe she thought I'd
todo
know.
súper una, ¿sabes?
She thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
¿Por aquí? Espera. Por ahí no, ¿verdad? Es que no sé, hay dos caminos. The Finches. Supongo que es para allá, pero... ¿Estos dos caminos? No sé, weón. Es un juego. Debe haber algo por acá. O me llevará igual.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Spoiler, todos mueren. ¿Recero? Sigo presionando el shift como queriendo correr. Mira. Este juego con voces en español 10 de
Even
10.
after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Un clásico. Claro, ante la duda, la más... Sí.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
No me jodas, hermano. Esto no es muy seguro, ¿eh? Vale, vamos directo a la casa. Bajo la sensibilidad del mouse mínimo para que el movimiento no sea tan...
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Vale, ¿cómo que te incomodaba? Pues bueno, comprendo perfectamente que te incomode, güey.
I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
¿Y si son plantas? Sin miedo a que te... ¿Ese güey? Una vez me pegó un venado, quiero vivir ahí. Estás literalmente allanando una casa. Por lo menos te dan un tiro en Estados Unidos, yo no le sabe. Somos más mods que espectadores. Ya era el día.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Es muy raro, es muy interactivo este pedo. Espera, ¿no se jugará mejor con mando? ¿Dónde está mi mando? Yo creo que... Bueno, no sé. Con mouse lo siento un poco restrictivo, pero vale. No se puede entrar por aquí. Bueno, vámonos por acá. Plot twist, todos los espectadores son mods. Buena. Los 7. Claro. 7 mods. Está perfecto. Vale, entramos a la casa, ¿eh? Hay muchas cosas en demasiado buen estado para llevar abandonada mucho tiempo. No sé ustedes, pero yo mi casa la dejo sola 2 días y está hecha mierda. Eso yo. Plot twist, Dani nos pone el rol de editor y así nos contradice. Sí. A ver. Vale.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Estos son los 7 moderadores más furros de Danny Devane.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
A la mierda. Esto es literalmente una sonrisa con demasiados dientes, loco. No me jodas. Esto es literalmente mi padre.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Oh. Número 1. El Yolu. El puberto. Cuando era mod. A ver, vamos a ver antes de irnos al segundo piso. Yo tengo que darle, ¿vale?
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Ok, la llave no está encajando en ningún lado. Yo no soy furro. Pero eres mod. Eso en cierta parte te hace furro.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Pero salvando los muebles, matándolos a todos. ¿No hay más espacios en la habitación para los mangas? Soy necrofílico. ¿Qué? ¿Qué? Qué rico, weón. Está bien, está bien. Nunca le digo que no a una bien fría. ¿Está embarazada? ¿Soy yo o está embarazada, loco? ¿Lo ven? Igual estoy siendo un poco grosero. No sacaré conclusiones. Se ve... Se ve un poquito embarazada.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
En mi país eres culpable. Ay, güey, ¿qué mierda? Entonces, ¿cómo debo tomarme cuando me hiciste grrr? Ese güey. Pues en mi país existe el perjuicio de inocencia. No. Gente, les seré honesto. El comunismo no funciona. Vamos para arriba.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Voy a estornudar. Ah, disculpen.
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Soy comunista, me atraen las comunidades. Bien. A ver. Gracias.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
Odin, el padre de Eddie, construyó la casa. Barbara. Todas las puertas están como selladas, ¿no? Yo soy racista, me atraen todas las razas.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
My friend Bigfoot. Era actriz. Aquí no hay nada. Yo no me electrocuto en la corriente. ¿Qué? No hay nada interesante acá arriba, entonces. Digo, esto se ve bastante interesante, ¿no? Qué miedo venir acá. Si estás embarazada, qué miedo venir a una casa vieja y embarazada. Oh, sigue subiendo.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Oh, ok. Me considero pedófilo, intolerante a pedos ajenos. ¡Qué mierda! Ok, parece que esta es una historia muy lineal. Muy lineal. Así que parece que hay que seguir como que todos los pasos, ¿no? No podemos entrar aquí. Esta puerta estaba abierta.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Mira, qué bonito. Esto le iba a gustar mucho al Raz. A él le gustan mucho las criaturas marinas.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed.
Sería pedofóbico dado el caso. Sí, güey. Yo también soy capitalista, me atraen las capitales. Ciudad de México. Es una ciudad capital, ¿no? Hermosillo, Sonora. Esto sí lo abre. ¿Cuál es tu capital favorita?
Turns out my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Hola, madre.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
A su mamá se le da bien esconder secretos. No me jodas, hermana. La capital de Argentina.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother
¿Qué es
Milton
eso?
had been here
¿Uruguay?
before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan,
No, amiga.
but I had no idea what was behind that door.
Uy, ¿por qué no lo agarraste? Vale.
Just like I had no idea.
Su mamá era el Chapo. Su mamá era el Chapo.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Oh, nunca había entrado aquí.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Qué bonito.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Oh. Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947.
Ay, qué bonito.
I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen.
Pero si caben las morras en la
Mom
casa,
put me to
Nelly.
bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Nos comemos al hámster.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
¡Oh, la madre! ¡Se la comió!
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Tenía hambre, o sea.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Pero tengo hambre. Se comió la zanahoria porque tenía hambre. Me como el pescado.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Me gusta lo interactivo que es este juego. En el modo de los movimientos y tal. A ver. ¿Qué más queda por tocar? ¿Se está haciendo brillante esto? Molly. No nos podemos ir a dormir. Oh, hay una puerta acá. No la vi. Estamos chiquitas.
Kept eating and eating.
No mames, se va a comer la pasta de dientes. ¡No! ¡Tiene plomo! Ay, qué asco. ¿Vieron? Tiene como manchas en las manos.
I ate a lot of things that night.
No mames. Mira, tiene algo como en las manos, ¿ven? No hay nada más aquí.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Escuchó como un pájaro.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
¿El juego transcurre en Venezuela o qué pedo? Esta habitación es Venezuela. ¿Es la representación física?
And suddenly,
¿Qué?
I was a cat.
¿Era un gato? ¿Qué mierda? Saltas con el espacio.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Te vas saltando como un gato. Ah. ¿Dónde está el pájaro? Seguimos el parkour, ¿eh? Parkour. El plomo de la pasta de dientes le afectó a la niña. Sí, güey.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Está haciendo ruidos de gato. No llegó.
she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Esa mamá pájaro. Esta niña tiene problemas mentales, ¿eh? Luego no me creen cuando digo que los juegos son raros.
Gobbled her up,
¡Ay! ¡No! ¡Me caí!
and suddenly I was an owl.
¿Qué?
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
¿Qué mierda le pasa a esta niña? Dijo que escuchó algo en el grass.
Rabbits.
Conejos. ¡Wow! Agarré uno.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
No me jodas, esta niña, ¿qué tienes?
And I didn't chew one bit.
No mames.
Flew off to find something.
Niña, ¿estás bien? Por Dios. Lo que le pasa a todos los niños. Están bien idiotas.
A mama rabbit.
¡Wow! La tengo. Una mamá
She was
conejo.
almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
No puedo dejar de comer, dice.
Suddenly, I was a shark.
¡No mames! Man eater. No mames. No me
I rolled off a
jodas.
cliff and into the ocean. Now I was hungrier than ever.
No mames. Tenía más hambre que nunca. Estoy en el baño. En el baño se encontró algo muy especial. Se lo comió. Todos sus secretos ese ya sabrá. Con sus superpoderes. El cambio y ahora es ¡esquizofrenia! La madre dejó la harina de Colombia suelta. Vaya. Mira, mira, ahí hay un pececillo,
I wanted fat, juicy soups.
Quería focas jugosas. ¿Dónde puedo encontrar una foca? No escucho nada, ¿eh? Para mí que la visitó el... ¡No! ¡No! Ton, ton, ton. La música se hace cada vez más... Debe haber una foca por aquí, ¿no? No sé muy bien a dónde ir. Una mother foca. There's a mama foca. Mira, hay como un tubo aquí. Hay una foca. Ahí está.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
La niña. La navegación está muy rara. Niña, por favor, deja las drogas.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry,
No mames.
When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
¿Y ahora qué soy? ¿Un pulpo? ¡Oh! Soy una serpiente.
Now I was a monster and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh, soy un monstruo ahora. Oh. Eres el protagonista de un hentai. ¿Qué
I
tanto?
was big, but I moved real quiet.
¡Hola, madre! Mira para arriba porque están los focos.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Quería parar, pero no pudo. Vale.
After the last passenger,
Me lo
I
maté.
was still hungry.
El Snake 3D y RTX.
Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
¿Qué soy? Oh, ok, todavía soy
I
hentai.
slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Vale, estamos deslizando, parece. Oh, esta canción estaba tarareando, me recordó un montón al Black Flag. Oh. Hablando de Black Flag, lo tengo para la Play 4. No estaría mal jugarlo. Quemaría a esa niña en la hoguera.
All my stomach started growling.
Ella era su propio monstruo.
That was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's
Y ni quiero... No, aún no. Aún no está listo. Es que tengo que editarlo para que quede bien.
It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
No mames. Esta niña... Weón, esta niña... Esto fue lo último que escribió en su diario. O sea que esa noche se murió.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Mira, ahí estamos nosotros. ¿Mis juegos favoritos? Pues... Es que me gusta de todo, realmente. Ahora mismo mi juego el que más me está gustando hasta ahora. No sé. Está para pensarse. Me gusta mucho el Don't Starve. Me gusta mucho el Minecraft. Me gusta mucho juegos survival en general. Todo lo de la casa son diarios de muerte. ¿En serio?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Ay. Por su hija, que le gustaban los gatitos.
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Mira, aquí más o menos puedes ver cómo era la persona,
We got
¿no?
along and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Y lo que tenía. Death Note, pero barato. Mira, esta señora tenía problemas respiratorios. Se nota por esto. Te tomaba pastillas y era vieja.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Ok, y aquí vivían ella y su esposo era el carpintero.
Her room was like a museum.
Esa mujer se parece a mi cuñada. Si miras anime, de hecho vemos animes todos los días. Hoy vamos a ver uno más tarde. De los 500 años, los Finch han sido famosos por toda Noruega por su fortuna y su desgracia. Real news.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse. His wife Ingeborg and their newborn son,
La
Johan.
embarazada se andaba subiendo árboles. Es la típica casa en la que el protagonista de una película de terror llevaría a sus hijos. Sí.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Oh, no me jodas, se llevó a su casa consigo.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
No me jodas.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Su hija Eddie es ella, es ella. ¿Cómo me salgo de aquí? Ok, con la S. Vale.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Bastante bien. O sea que esta es gente bastante vieja ya. Vale. ¿Se llamaba Eduarda? Sí. Edith.
Even in their 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Mírala. La señorita Eddie. Ella es Edith. Edith. Espejo sin
The
reflejo.
only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Rastro que no me jodas.
It was a pretty big trace.
Ahí está la endemoniada. No se puede pasar por aquí. Otro candado. There's a secret in this bathroom. By Sven and Eddie Finch. Vale. Vale.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Ah, hicieron como un librito.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Está chido. Está, no sé. Me gusta esta familia. Se mueren todos, pero me gusta esta familia. Calvin Finch, un fotógrafo.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Y se hizo de su cuadro, de su cuarto oscuro aquí. Vamos abajo. Vale. Me encanta cómo todas las habitaciones se conectan con otras, ¿sabes? Eso está muy bueno. Está, no sé. Es un cuarto de unos gemelos, ¿no? Un niño obsesionado con la guerra o algo así. Y este señor con astronautas.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. and that he never talked about him.
Oh.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Mira, Calvin.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam.
Ay.
The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Cuando tomó una decisión, no había vuelta de hoja.
He'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Moriría antes de comerse otro champiñón.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Mira, ¿viste cómo va creciendo? Creo que va creciendo,
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
No me jodas.
Going around was impossible.
Ah, quería girar.
If I hadn't said that.
Quería girar.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
No mames, güey, me está dando un vértigo horrible. No.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Me está dando un vértigo que no sé. Es inexplicable, hermano. ¡Oh!
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
¡A la mierda! No me jodas. Weón, no sé. No sé. No sé, no sé. No sé ni cómo explicar esto, weón. Me sentí raro. A ver. Me gustó. Me gustó la sensación. Vámonos. Todos están locos.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Ah, cordonó. Puso un cordón como para que nadie tocara las cosas de su hermano. Oh. Míralo, hermano. Míralo. A ver qué le pasó a Sam.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Se alistó a los 18. Oh. ¿Qué les pasa a esta gente con sus habitaciones secretas? Es hereditario. Hereditario. De ahí salió la Calvin Klein y fundó su propia tienda de ropa. Claro. Pasó de dimensión.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Espérate. Es que aquí hay algo. ¿Cuál checamos? ¿El de allá o el de acá primero? Este me llama la atención. Oh, es la de Bárbara.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
¿Por qué? ¿Qué le pasó? Mira, se ve que es una buena... Tiene muchas cosas. Dreadful stories.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Aquí es... ¿Qué? Bueno, lo van a decir ellos.
Inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about
Me voy,
to
Dani. Hasta mañana.
demonstrate
Hasta mañana, Yolu.
12
Gracias por pasarte.
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So
No.
Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is
Ahora sabemos
and
dónde hay una
more
llave.
money until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Una buena pista,
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Porque hay un cómic. Ahora lo controlo yo. Huevón, qué bien se ve esto,
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
¡Ja! Buena. La puedes cerrar. ¡Ciérrate!
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
¡Qué miedo! Pa. Me tendré que despedir, espero estar en los próximos directos. ¡Claro que sí, Agus! Eres completamente bienvenido.
Oh dear. Rick?
Buena.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
¿No se supone que es sobre su muerte?
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Todavía con la muleta esta. Vale. Y la música esta. Todavía está hecha una mierda los libros, No, es que tú no estás embarazada. Vamos, dale. ¿Era aquí?
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
No me jodas.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
No me jodas. No me jodas que la asesinaron.
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
¿Qué mierda? Miren esa mano.
She played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow.
No me jodas que era su hermano, ¿verdad? ¿O era su novio?
But she sensed the story might not be over yet.
No manches. Va lento, ¿eh? Que yo creo que es su novio, ¿eh?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
¿Qué mierda?
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
No.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her.
¿Qué mierda?
It was a dream come true.
¿Qué pedo?
And she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous.
¿Qué?
And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But
Ay, pobrecito.
as for Barbara,
Básicamente el novio la asesinó, ¿verdad?
the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
El jajas. Qué extraño.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Qué triste, ¿no? Happy birthday. Fue en su cumpleaños cuando murió.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Vale, hay que ir por la caja de música entonces. Bueno, me está encantando. Me está encantando. Es tan dinámico, hay muchas cosas, muchos detalles.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
La cajita musical. Yo creí que ya lo habías jugado. ¿No? Este no. Se ha visto un par de cosas, pero no había visto lo del GAT. No he visto prácticamente nada. Pero sí sabía que era de historias así de... Que iba de ir descubriendo historias. Pero fuera de ahí, nada. No, si te baneo.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Aquí es donde pasó lo de su papá, ¿no? Lo del señor. Uy, está muy oscuro ahí, ¿eh? Vale.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Llevando paquetes. No parece haber nada por acá.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Oh, esto era lo del refrigerador. Disculpen.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
No me jodas, todo el mundo tiene secretos aquí. LOL.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Oh.
If there's a pattern in all these
Un búnker.
stories,
¡Hola, patata! Un búnker.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Ay. Y aún así ha seguido la familia, ¿eh? Mira, Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
No me jodas. 30 años
On
aquí.
that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive the week.
Temblores.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
No me jodas. Enero
If you
1976.
wait long enough, you get used to anything.
¿Qué son esos temblores? Andamos bien.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just
2005. Está viejo
whatever
ya.
that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting.
No me
I have to leave
jodas.
while I still can.
No me jodas, hermano. Todos los libros.
I know it's out there somewhere.
¿Se referirá al monstruo como al novio? Lo que fuera que mató a Bárbara. Sí, ¿no? Al novio de Bárbara. Y a Molly.
And Calvin.
Y a Kelvin.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
Claro, 50 años después.
Especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month.
O un día.
Or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day.
Ay.
I can already imagine the sun in my face.
¡Ah! Ay, no. ¿Es en serio? No llegó ni un día, loco. Ni un día llegó.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Y cuando decidió salir lo mató un tren. Qué triste, loco. A ver,
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Vale. No entiendo por qué va a esa casa. Estando embarazada. Es que está embarazada, loco. Se nota.
She never told me about an uncle under the house. I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Claro.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Lugar de desechos. Turururu.
Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Cuidado.
Now that there's only one of us left. Or maybe 2.
O quizás 2.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse. We made it real.
Ah, mira, sí murió aquí. Y saltas.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Qué pesimista, ¿no?
But I thought you should know about your family.
Sí, le está hablando a su hija. Vale. O hijo.
And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Vamos para acá. Desbloqueando el final malo ahí. Nos ahogamos. Mira, ahí está una luz encendida. Es que este juego es demasiado inmersivo, hermano. Muy inmersivo.
And when you look at the house, That history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
Es que no me jodas, toda su familia consumía drogas. No es por aquí. Ha de ser seguir el camino y ya está.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Es cierto. Empezaron un cementerio incluso antes de construir la casa.
For me to admit this, but the pet cemetery may be more uncomfortable than the human one. 3
Provoca...
of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Oh. Lucy, Daisy, Durpy, Durpy Junior, Burpy, Churpy, Turpy, Lurpy, Surpy. No mames. Un gato llamado Shadow. Oliver, Bailey, Chatsky, Coco, Tucker, Charlie, Daisy, Lucky. ¿No está el gato que se llamaba Molly? Bueno, quizás es el que esté caído.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Oh. Bárbara. Walter. Oh. Sven and Eddie. Calvin. Molly Finch. Ay. Qué deprimente.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Mira eso.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Con la vieja casa. Ah, es verdad, pues es que la casa se había hundido, ¿no? Y tomaron los restos para llevársela a la nueva casa. Ok.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Gus Finch, Sam, Gregory. Oh.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Lewis, Sanjay, Milton.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Okay.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. Looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Embarazada de 22 semanas. Sí, está embarazada, ¿ves? Se los dije. No. No. ¡Aborto! Bueno. ¿Hay que subir? Habrá una escalera acá, ¿no? No. Ah, está de este lado. No la vi.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Mucho en común. El abuelo Sam.
They were both pretty intense.
Nunca entendí esto de las pieles en el oso de centro, ¿eh? Las pieles de oso en el centro, no sé. ¿Para qué? Stan Lee. Es literalmente Stan Lee, loco.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly imperfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
Buena.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Oh.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just... Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
No va a disparar hasta que tome, ¿verdad?
Elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
Sí, sí. Pensé que iba a hacerlo. Pensé que sabía que iba a hacerlo de esa forma.
I'm proud of you, Dawn.
Oh!
Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
¡Oh! ¡Qué fuerte, loco! ¡Qué fuerte!
Of Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
¡Qué fuerte! ¡Joder! Eso estuvo bastante duro, ¿eh? Un gato. Acá no vi nada. Kay. No sé quién era Kay. Ah, su hija, ¿no? Bueno, no sé.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Es que estoy segurísimo de que aquí hay que darle clic a algo, pero no sé. Tiene toda la pinta, ¿no? Ventanas, silla, luz. Pero vale. Vale. Lugar estrecho. Cuidado con el bebé.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Era un bebé. Gregory era un bebé. Mira. Divorcio.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Como si algo bueno.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
El sapo todo venenoso.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Es como el jueguito de los patos.
What his world was like. He reminded me so much of California. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
El bebé todo drogado.
It sure made him happy.
Oh.
I know how silly it sounds.
Todo bugueado.
But I worried about a baby being too happy. I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
No, ¿cómo dejan a un bebé? ¿Cómo dejan un bebé solo en la bañera?
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
No. No.
There's so much I don't understand.
Ay.
About Gregory. About everything.
No.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy.
Ay.
And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
No. Quisiera dibujar así, güey. 2 líneas y aparece. No, hermano, no.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Poema para Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met
Fusión de dildos masiva porque todo el mundo dibuja apenas en cualquier lugar. Sí.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
¡Ja!
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
En la carpa. Empezó a llover. No me jodas. Sí, ¿no? O sea, se metieron en las carpas.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Oh, yo soy la tormenta. ¿Me tendré que llevar todas estas cosas allá? Oh. ¡No!
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Chale, loco. Lo que el viento se llevó.
We never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Era un pequeño rebelde. Ok. Mira, escalar.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Oh.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Casas en Calcuta. Su papá se llama Sanjay. Ya está muerto también, ¿no?
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Luis, su hermano, supongo.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Down.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Oh, regresó.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal, but it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Mira.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Qué bonito. Oh, esta es la historia de Milton.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Ah. El Milton, sí. Es que no tengo que parar, tengo que seguir. No me puedo quedar quieto. No entendí. No entendí.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Léelo bien. No, no puedo. No se lee. ¿Qué mierda? Ah, Milton.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Qué bonito está el juego, loco. Vale, vamos para arriba.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh. En el yate hay algo. ¿Cómo hicieron para subir un yate a que... Bueno, no haré preguntas. Paso. ¿Qué mierda? Es para arriba. Bastante bien, la verdad.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Era... No me jodas. Era un gamer, boy.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery.
Okay.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Esto me ha pasado, Esto me ha pasado muchísimo.
And things that have not names.
¿Saben lo que es tener un trabajo de mierda?
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
No sé qué pasó aquí, Se bugueó. ¡Se bugueó! ¡No! Andaba ya bien metido, loco. Buena. No me jodas. ¿Qué hago? ¿Reinicio? ¿No? Ay, no. Voy a volverlo a abrir. No sé. A ver. A ver si no tengo que empezar desde el inicio. Ojalá que no. Vale.
Lewis's room smelled very. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Sí soy. Vale, tenemos que darla de nuevo, ¿eh? No pasa nada.
Dear Mrs. Finch,
a mí me está mamando este juego, ¿eh? Lo estoy amando.
As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
A lo que les decía, andar en un trabajo de mierda donde empiezas a sentir la monotonía de una acción repetitiva es horrible.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
Aquí es donde se me bugueó.
He knew it was all in his head.
Está guapo, ¿eh?
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Aquí es donde se me bugueó.
But he found something more.
Encontró
I worried about him
Hades.
then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Huh.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Y empezó la monotonía, loco.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Mira.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
¿Viste cómo
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topi.
cada vez más ocupa más espacio de la pantalla?
Slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Hasta tú mismo te estás distrayendo. Yo me estoy distrayendo más por esto que por lo otro, ¿eh?
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Oh.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
No me jodas.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Ya casi no se escucha menos, ¿no?
New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he
Minneapolis.
came home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
No me jodas. Su mamá estaba ahí, loco. Ay, no. Esto, es que me siento identificado con este señor.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Un hermoso príncipe.
beautiful prince.
Era gay. Yo digo que sí.
The prince was on his own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of his
Arpa de plata.
silver harp.
No me jodas, hasta que se creaba sus historias este señor.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained
Ya,
sound.
ya no se ve nada.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
¿Qué mierda? O sea, ya no diferenciaba la
My
realidad.
imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Aquí vamos a la fábrica de conservas, ¿no?
We began to forget the world we know.
Pipa.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
¿Esta es su
He
mamá?
began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Qué extraño, ¿no? Hay que subir aquí.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Tierras de las maravillas.
palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico had insisted on inviting.
¡Qué miedo!
His prince waited, holding his crown.
Es su príncipe. Eso no se ve muy rico.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
No. No. No, 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 no.
Rest, I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Well, no.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
En serio, en serio, en serio, en serio, en serio, weón. Qué shit. ¿Y su madre? Era obvio, ¿no? Yo pensé que iba a perder la mano, no la cabeza. Y decía de que, ok. ¿Por qué te vuelves a meter? ¿Qué pedo? ¿Está en bucle? Quiero ir a la casa, a la parte de aquí arriba. No se puede. Vale. Será por dentro entonces.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Ah. Por aquí no.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Esta parece que era su habitación, ¿no?
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have come sooner.
Edith, aquí está su cuarto.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Qué miedo acostarte ahí arriba, hermano.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Sopla un viento medio fuerte y se mueve todo seguro así,
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Eddie tenía una llave. Vale.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Story of the Finches.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
O sea que esta vez volvió. Estamos usando a Eddie.
I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
Oh. Cama,
That
cosas.
night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
La mano de la vieja.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Oh, hay que ir a completar eso,
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
Eh.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it.
Oh,
But
puedo
she
quitarlo
started getting
así
sick a
o
lot.
así.
The rest happened pretty quickly.
Oh.
She got better for a while.
Down se llama su madre. Down Finch. ¿Vale?
And then I was alone.
Eso sonó a Kobe. Un poquito de
Last
Kobe.
Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
¿Están haciendo?
I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Pero me faltó uno. Oh. Era hijo. Shirley Dallas. Ian Dallas. Joshua Sharfati. Todos de niños, supongo. Qué buen juego. Juan. Qué buen juego, hermano. Qué buen juego. Qué buena historia. ¡Hijo de fruta! Mira, weón, cuando llegas. Estás en los malditos créditos. Spoiler, la demo no tiene nada que ver con esto. Buena. Dale 3 horitas. No te preocupes, o sea, todavía no termino. Todavía no terminamos el directo. Pero es gracioso que haya raid cuando se acaba el cuando se acaba el juego. Bastante bien, la verdad. Bastante bien el jueguito. Uy. La opción repetir una historia ya está disponible. Selecciona a Edith para jugar desde el principio. Ah, no me faltó ninguno. Fueron todos. Esa fue la última, la historia de Edith. Oh. ¿Puedes repetir? ¿Eh? ¿Down? ¿Cuál era la historia de Down? Ah. ¿Y la de Eddie? Solo para dejarlo claro, porque es que no me quedó muy claro. Ah, eran las dos en el mismo, vale. Soy imbécil. Bueno, gente, este fue el juego. What Remains of Edith Finch. Muchas gracias por acompañarme en este hermoso video, en este hermoso videojuego. Muchas gracias. Y no sé, weón, espero traer esta mierda más seguido. La otra semana igual se viene uno igual. ¡Adiós!